Come on.
Let me try.
Enemy forces ahead.
Not to interrupt your fun, but we do have to get underway.
All right. I have to fix my microphone already.
Oh no.
Best
But,
YouTube production.
I'm good.
Skill
Hello
issue.
there, everyone. Welcome to EaWX Con 2025, which acts as a warning for all of us that if you start calling something anything ironically, that's just the name you have, and you're just that guy. But yeah. So this is our semi-annual, sometimes biannual, sometimes biennial convention stream where we show off all the work that we've been doing for, at this point, the last 14 to 16 months. I don't even remember. I don't think we did we didn't do one in summer. I don't think we did one last Christmas. Did we?
We did.
We did?
When I was
okay,
away.
perfect. So it's been a year. But yeah, so this is a way you're all, I'm sure if you're on this channel, you probably hear me yap a lot. So this is the opportunity to hear the rest of the team yap, and I'm sorry for that. But what we've just opened up with there are some of the mission intros and some of the campaign work that's been going on with Revan's Revenge. We're all currently still working on the Thrawn's Revenge 3.5 release, and we will have a release date for you by the end of today. Tentative release date, because you never know what's going to go wrong. But we're going to first open by talking about some Revan's Revenge stuff, which will mostly be Leo talking. He's been doing KOTOR 1 stuff there. You're going to see some hints of some KOTOR 2 stuff, which I very rudely cut from the stream. You're going to have to wait until the 20th anniversary in June to see some of that. But there's a lot of cool stuff going on there. Then we'll talk about some Fall of the Republic stuff. Then some Thrawn's Revenge stuff to close it out, which will include some preview videos and a bit of an overview on some of the work we're going to be doing in the 0.0 releases, which will be following 0.5. So we will have Revan's Revenge 1.0, Fall of the Republic 2.0, and Thrawn's Revenge 4.0 coming out at some point in the future. But let's look at some more Revan's Revenge stuff. If Leo, you want to say anything about it, or if anyone sees their work come up, you can.
I hate animus. I hate you so much.
That wasn't even me, funny enough.
Okay, fair. You heard it here. Corey hates K2. That's why he didn't wanted to show it off, because K2 sucks.
There were going to be over 30 minutes of just mission cutscene intros, and the stream is supposed to be 2 hours long. So we're saving some of that for summer.
I actually didn't even make mission videos for all the missions. Like, in the last 6 months, I did nearly 40 missions. I was shocked by myself, but like you can see here, there are all the KOTOR 1 planets. I did them all except Yavin and Taris. And technically Leviathan, but it isn't a planet, so I don't count it. You have everything you want from there, inclusive the showdown on the Starforge. Anything major to tell? Yeah. You will be locked into the light side ending. Except if you play the Sith, then you will be locked into the dark side ending, and you can't keep Malak. Here you will soon see Rhino's awesome star map model. It's quite cool, and I'm really happy that he did it on such short notice. Anything else majorly to say there? Oh yeah, we can showcase 5 new GCs in the next update. The Road to Malachor, which will feature the Revan's Revenge, and the Hunt for Revan, and the Starforge Hunt, Dark Wars, and a GC that plays after Dark Wars. It's the Rebellion of more KOTOR droids. That's based on Droid's idea. Like, initially I didn't want to do it at GC, but he poked me to do it, and now it's there.
Yeah, so you'll see some of the GC selection screens coming up in a second here. I think that's after the models.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and in a little bit we'll have also some of the galactic map layouts. That'll be, I think it shows off all 5 of the map layouts, but yeah.
Okay, in that case, I wait with the information on this one. The main thing is, I saw a few people asking here how the Revan handling will be done in this GC, and which model to use. We haven't decided anything there yet, and some of the models are a bit work in progress because I messed with them and messed badly with them. That's why the fucking Yaoi hands.
Yeah, we hear your feedback. Bigger hands, you got it. There
So
will be bigger hands.
I will point out the Karth model is almost 20 years old now. That was made by, it actually might be over 20 years old, because that was made for
That means
Ages
it's older
of
than
Star
Vic.
Wars. But
Yeah, that model is older than Vic, so be kind if you're kind to Vic. Here you see all the new maps based on all the mini maps from the actual game, including Ender Spire. You already saw it. I did cut out the entire Hammerhead model for it, which was quite a pain in the ass, and I'm sorry, Victoria, that I killed your model and bastardized it this way. But you also get to know why corridor maps suck in Empire at War if you play these missions. The current balancing is also quite awful. You sometimes see it if I stream it on the
yeah, so look forward to that.
server right now. Yeah. I feel there's not too much to say about it all right now because you can play the entire KOTOR storyline, including all the other stuff, including the Revan model in the end. But we won't show off the Vitiate showdown yet. That's planned for the next one. And
Is this the real KOTOR remake then?
the one that will come out.
This one actually has gameplay shown, so really,
Let's not be that mod team.
Yeah.
But this does let you determine the fate of the Old Republic.
Ooh.
oof.
Important to know, the Leon map is done by Vic, and the
Uh.
Manan map is done by Rogue, so credits to them there. They are especially beautiful, and yeah, you will be able to
Yeah.
kill Fish and Selkath on Manan. Right now, everything needs to be recoded a bit because my work is quite placeholdery, and I know NMS will kill me down the line for my choices.
Oh, I will.
Especially how I stated Atris and Mitra.
Well, they had some entries in the stat sheet, so if you didn't follow them,
For Mitra, I just copied Johanni.
All right, so
Oh,
in
no.
the prior
Typical.
releases, or not releases, there's just been one. In the first release of Revan's Revenge, the maps we had were just focusing on the Mandalorian Wars. So this will have all the historicals for the KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2 content, which I know is less popular than Mandalorian Wars. Everyone loves the comics so much more than the games. But you will at least have that option if anyone out there did want to play KOTOR 1 or 2 as an RTS.
I'm sure that all the fans of the 3 offhand sourcebook mentions of the war will be so thrilled. Will be so disappointed.
What I really would like you to talk about, Leo, if you can, is how you managed to get in the missions on Manon and on Dantooine that let you take part in legal proceedings. I think those are what we're all really excited
so
for.
the approach is you will have to pay a lot of money for Selkath to bobble your name badly. And if you don't pay enough, the government will hunt you down and you get Vic sit next to you.
Just like real life.
But you can see some of the KOTOR 2 previews here, some of the maps. And then in about 6 months, you will see a lot of mission intros and some extra KOTOR 2 stuff. And beyond KOTOR 2 stuff as well.
Something to say here is the on-the-run map is also based on Vic's on-the-run map with Palace thrown into the middle.
That's also a really nice addition.
So for the main GCs, I do want to say something are Revan's Hunt for Revan, because there we really dig deep to find sources, and you can play the plot of single-page RPG games that are just mentions of a random girl being kidnapped by a Zerka. This was how far we had to dig for sources. It's quite pathetic, I know.
Don't forget things like the iconic adventures of Darth Vorin.
Oh, Darth Vorin. Actually,
that is a core source.
So true.
The intro to the Star Forge GC is Malak killing Warren because I had no idea how to start this GC.
Right.
And for KOTOR 2, it's important to note you have the choices to decide the fates of the planets. So if you say, fuck Telos, I'm a Zerka, bro, then you can be, even if you are a dick in the meantime. And you can also decide if you want to fight alongside Kunda or against, help Vaklu kill the queen or not, and blow up Malachor or not. All these things will be able to do RPG choices, so all those K2 sims can play around. I don't care for them anyway. And in the end,
a quick little vitiate teaser.
Yeah, here you can see Scorch. For the vitiate thing, it's important to say, NMS hated the fact that I wanted, like, technically you will lose if you fight vitiate, and you can't really win the battle, but you don't have to play the game, the mission, because it's optional. You can also just trigger the NGC, end crawl. And I know some people don't hate the novel and how it goes out, that Mitra dies, but it's lore. Screw you. Just kidding.
Wow. Okay. Well,
That's okay, Leo.
I guess we'll jump
respect
into we'll finish off some of the Revan's Revenge stuff with the GC layouts. These are the 5 GCs that Leo was talking about.
Oh, right. Malachor in this GC is actually the one mission I haven't bothered to test yet, because I hate testing, and I had actually tested the other missions. That's so annoying.
Oh, it shows. It shows.
Leo, that's a very
Leo
bold
famously hates
admission.
testing.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we hire all the other guys.
People are getting paid? Higher.
We're gonna pay them with insanity. Does this count?
Attempted recovery.
I was promised pizza.
Well, I lost a lot of money in the last.
Who hasn't lost money in this economy?
Oh, here you can see
It's
the
imagination pizza for Christmas again.
did you see post Dark Wars where the droids rebel? It's still on a branch, but Jory did some fun work there with the droid faction.
Yeah.
And Patience.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say.
Nothing that new, but it does mix together a bit of all the other factions and just kind of takes every single droid unit in the mod and throws them into a blender.
One of the fun things with this era is that there are a lot of areas that are not like fully integrated or even partially integrated into the Republic. So you have like the fun little droid revolt going on. We also have the Mon Calamari kingdoms, the TNEs, the Tapani. A lot of places that we can do fun stuff with independent forces.
And here you can see, if you play as the Sith in the Dark Wars GC, you will also be locked in the dark side ending, but you started just with Traya on Malachor, and it starts 2 years before the other side, so it's also cute to reference all of this, and even the comics where Qatar gets blown up.
Yeah, it's probably not revealing anything at this point to say that one of the things we had wanted to do in Revan's Revenge was make it so that with certain character choices, you'd switch factions. So if you choose for Revan to go to the light side or dark side, you'd go with him. But unfortunately, Empire at War, the faction command switching events don't really work very well. The game gets very broken, so we had to drop that. So we're a bit limited in how we can do some of the like faction and alignment stuff.
That was still the biggest tragedy of the prep cycle. Like, it was so sad.
Yeah.
Clearly, we should make it so that the faction name is renamed and all your units are locked, and the other roster gets unlocked. So basically, switch factions, even if you don't. This would totally not be viable.
Yeah,
but it's a bad decision. We know
it's a terrible decision, but we could do it anyway.
Haha.
All right. Well, that's a bit of a look at what we're looking at for Revan's Revenge, and keep in mind as we get towards the end of the stream and go towards some of the other general 0.0 previews, any of these system changes that we're going to be talking about for Thrawn's Revenge or Fall of the Republic will also apply to Revan's Revenge. So towards the end, we're going to be talking a little bit about some tactical changes and some other focuses there, and all of that will apply equally here as well. So there will be a lot to look forward to in Revan's Revenge 1.0. The hope content-wise on top of all these maps is also to get at least 3 new space units per faction done. to help push the rosters in the direction we want them to be, help their playstyle and some of the gaps that they have. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff there. And
Important last thing. Nolan did change the inexpungible. I don't know if it's better now, but it's not the same as in public. We promise.
It's
I mean,
unfortunate.
the issue with it was we gave it all the negative SSD stuff with none of the positive SSD stuff for some reason. So I just gave it the positive SSD stuff, and suddenly it works fine.
Right, so Keel Hall, these are your maps. If there's anything you'd like to pick up on as we go through, we have. I should tell everyone we have about an hour and a half of fresh content to look at here. If we just play through everything once, so I'm going to be poking people to keep things moving.
Okay. Please wrap it up.
I don't have that music. I couldn't find it.
This is Emberline. It's I made a video on this one. That's the one thing you can watch for a more full explanation. But basically, it was a pretty pristine planet, and then they pissed off all their neighbors in the Clone Wars by being assholes, and then they got conquered for it by sun guards, and then their world just kind of kept burning after that. This is the old version of it, like before they got ripped over by sun guards.
So that'll be different whether you see it in Revan's Revenge versus other mods.
Yeah,
even
it changes by mod.
Yeah.
This is Pesfavri. It's just a Chiss planet that like is kind of a academy for the ascendancy. So it's unique to this planet as far as I'm aware. As Chiss partisans. It's the Golden Temple map, but rotated, and a bunch of other changes as well. Like you can go through the lake now. This is Crackle. It's the home world of I forget his name, Gector or whatever, from the Han Solo or the Lando Calrissian adventures. They're like weird spider people, so I try to have like these weird natted trees that just kind of looked sinister. And I also made it a frozen swamp, which I thought was kind of unique, with weird purple water. Netihi, it's home of one of the Chiss or the Empire of the Hand integration guys. They are bee people, or at least I like to think they are. So I gave them a honey lake, honeycomb tiles, and lots of yellow flowers.
Or for that lead to them being bees too, wasn't it?
Yeah, you'll see on the rotating along the bottom here, there's a bunch of new character art that Lord Zeiser has commissioned Augustine Gayer for. So those are all used for different hologram things in game, and that does include new art for some of these species that are in the Empire of the Hand. So you'll see a little bee guy come up later. That's for the Patatus, which is these guys on Netihi. There's I don't know how to describe the other two. There's like Featherhead guy for Wingali's species, the Patosh, and there's like yoked red man, which is for the Garwians.
We are not beating those allegations.
Since someone brought it up, I like the world building of the Lando Calrissian adventures, but no, they are in fact garbage and anathema to Star Wars because they are basically libertarian propaganda, and they read like it.
God, he's going on.
They are bleak as hell to read. Every story is about how Lando hates everyone and everyone hates each other except the naive children, and they're the only actually enjoyable characters in those stories. Yeah, so they're garbage.
On the topic of enjoyable, you will enjoy these maps.
Yes, please. Kilji is just an unknown regions planet. Iphigin is never actually shown, but I thought I'd give it something a little more like a spaceport kind of, but also very nature-like. The Han Solo adventures are good. Read those. Don't read the Lando Calrissian ones. So it's actually just the Blue Savannah map, but rotated and red with some other changes. Metelos, I did a whole 14-minute video on, which you should watch because it's everything you ever wanted to know about that planet, basically. And it was very ambitious, and also the first map I tried to do.
Yeah, so these are
but I like this one.
about, I think, 70 new maps that'll end up being in Thrawn's Revenge 3.5 compared to 3.4. A good chunk of them were in Fall of the Republic and Revan's Revenge.
lot.
But by the time the mod
Yeah.
comes out, it's still possible for more.
18 of them were done by me last, whatever this was, stream, whatever. 20 were done by me this time. So this is Malastare. It is also a new skirmish map. I tried to make it true to all the different sources except TCW, which kind of felt like an odd thing out. It's not the biggest contradiction, but I feel like if you want to like try to understand Malastare, you kind of have to headcanon that the TCW portrayal is the Dug continent, where all the Dugs have been like sent to be away from the proper city. Yeah.
Segregated.
Which does make a lot of sense, so it's not the biggest contradiction if you go by that. Thorn is... I did a video on this. It's a pretty simple planet. It's just a wild jungle where the locals are lamproids, which are like these little worm guys that you wouldn't think are sentient, but apparently are. They're just not very cultured.
Skirmish map particularly is pretty nice too.
Malastare, yeah. It's a really big, really nice skirmish map, so enjoy that. Rainy Hill, it's a bit of a niche map in terms of design. Like, I wanted to try something that was like kind of like a base game map, or like one of our early maps, but like better. So that was kind of the impetus for its design. You'll notice when you play it, it plays a little bit different and it favors artillery quite a bit. But I just wanted to like try it as a one-off concept. Like to see if like an early, usually flawed design could work out if done better. So that was kind of the idea behind it.
I thought Rainy Hill was usually
like it.
foggier.
You would think so. Turkana, Vic was upset his Cathar map was used literally everywhere. So I made a...
It's not a good map.
That's McKeb. So I made basically an island that was pretty. That's basically all there is. There's not a lot to say about it. It's just pretty. I do like the way I did the mountains and the trees, though, because putting trees in mountains is kind of a pain, but I like the way it's done. McKeb, it's from Tor. I spent quite a bit of time there looking at all the trees and the plants and stuff and trying to copy it faithfully, which was very difficult with the limited resources, but I think I got something kind of similar to the vibe.
A fun fact about McKeb is there's been a Wikipedia article bookmarked in my browser for about 10 years now for the conquest of McKeb, and I forget why I bookmarked it initially. It's just how I get to Wikipedia now. So I am definitely a good 75% of the page views on that article.
Wonderful.
If you ever see that article trending, it's because I'm busy.
There's a little hut spawner here that is like relatively well defended for a partisan spawner, so that's neat. Zafil I did a video on. It's basically an example of Kuat being really, really terrible. And this used to be a relatively nice planet until Kuat was like left to their own devices, and it didn't start improving until the New Republic basically strong-armed them into trying to make it nicer, but they mostly didn't if they didn't have to. There's Emberline again.
I don't know if you like hit the max number of files that it's able to show in the slideshows on OBS.
The apping broke the slideshow.
But anyways, so there is some talk in chat about the number of planets versus the number of maps, and we went into the 0.5 cycle having about 700 planets and about 250-ish maps. But
yeah,
there's 70 new maps now, which is really good because there are 1,100 total planets. That doesn't mean that there's 1,100 total used planets. There's a lot of cases where like we just kind of have the planets as a repository of these are things we can use for maps. And then usually what happens is the mappers will decide they'll find a planet that's used nowhere. make a map for it, and then complain that it wasn't used in maps that were already made years ago, and that's basically the process for how the planets get added.
Yes.
That's the system. It works.
You're saying we just because
Yep.
we have
This
XL coded,
nails
we're
it.
not actually using it?
Be fair,
but you-
usually use nowhere means it's like
Obviously,
Oh,
the
if you're
solution.
away.
Sometimes
to
it means nowhere. Sometimes it means nowhere. But
Yeah.
you did
Yeah,
forget a
it's-
step, Corey, that it's NMS adds the planet to some GCs without backchecking with anyone.
Exactly.
I'm looking at Hypori, by the way, even if it's my map.
Okay, try and cover your ass there.
All right, so there's not a ton we're going to be doing or saying about Fall of the Republic in this. So the Fall of the Republic assets we have here are also some of the kind of universal like influence assets, where like
some
Revan's Revenge finished development first. It needed the most stuff, so there's a lot that's kind of still going into that. Fall of the Republic finished second, and then we go into TR. So there is a lot that's planned for Fall of the Republic. A lot will have to do with kind of overhauling their government mechanics. But there's always a couple new things that are going in. I decided not to show my fantail model that I made for a different animation on Datapad because I think it's a terrible model, but we will potentially use it as a placeholder at least. But
shame everybody into making a better one.
once the
If
you'll
it works, it
see
works.
a new menu for the Empire of the Hand government stuff, and that will also be kind of used to redevelop the Fall of the Republic government mechanics. So there's a lot of kind of polish and system stuff still going into Fall of the Republic, but we're in a position where like the 3 planned playable factions are in and very well fleshed out. So it's not like we're going to be like showing off a new playable faction for them all the time.
Yeah.
Minor question.
Anything added. Go ahead.
Did you forget the 6 planets? The last 6?
They're
Maps?
all in there, but I think there might be a limit on the number of photos that I can show in a slideshow, which is apparently 80. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do about that.
Small tri-droid. Yay.
I feel like, yeah,
Small
we need to
question.
find out.
I may
Rhino's
have gone
amazing
too
work.
far in a few
This is
places
really
with all
cool.
the droids that I've done.
Rhino,
No, it isn't too far.
amazing work. It is deeply appreciated, and you should all give Rhino immense amounts of praise right now in the chat. I expect
Yeah.
to see it.
Okay.
He's the only
We talk
good
on
Angloid for this
tri-droid
reason.
stuff a bit since we are here. The virus droid mention is specifically what we're running with the 2003 version for, because A, the specific instance we know for them is the Battle of Coruscant, and that's the type of tri-droid we see there. And B, they're deliberately shaped like some virus types. So
Yeah.
really obvious where you have 2 pieces of information for that one variant, and yet somehow everyone seems to attribute it to the large ones. Ugh. Check your sources. people.
I did put the sizes so that
Yeah.
it wouldn't be confused about which one's which. But yeah.
Yeah, well, even with them, some people.
Oh, I thought that meant that there were 14.59 million polygons in that model.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, clearly.
Tried.
Oh.
Yeah, I did try. But no.
So, to be clear,
And look at
the large TCW style ones are the ones that are in game currently, but the old asset for those is technically a small tri-droid from Revenge of the Scale that was made for the original mini mod, scaled up a lot because it was obscenely high poly for when it was made.
Will the Skako version be an influenced unit in TR?
No idea.
I feel like that
Do I
might be
use
an
Skako
academic
in
question, because I don't
TR
think we
right
use
now?
Skako and TR.
Yeah.
But
DR. Why are we here to talk about Thrawn's Revenge? I think we're just here to talk about Fall of the Republic. Revan's
yeah, let's talk
Revenge.
about the cool things like the Revenge of the Sith,
Oh, you did the
tri-droid,
Magito one? How cool.
which is amazing.
Yeah, I
It's
did
so
all
cool.
of
Yeah.
them.
I was very impressed.
Okay,
I think
it's
you did
so
a really good
cool.
job with the ammo chains after fighting with it for a while.
Yeah, that I tried to be as close to sources as I could, but
And
I
then
did
this
have to
Proof of
go.
Concept Era 1 for fun.
Yeah, this is excellent.
it's so cute.
Oh yeah, this
We will
yeah, this
probably
was
just use as Era 1 PDF fodder, but it's
Yeah.
nice to
I'm-
have such.
It's brilliant.
Look, I'm tempted to do a
IF fodder
Magito
is
mission
always
just
nice.
for this model.
Yeah, this is Ryan Church's concept art, I think.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's his name.
It's so silly. It's like a desk
We don't know
chair.
how it
is,
moves.
yes. No, it just
Wow.
moves on the wheels.
It like skates around.
Here we go. There's the.
Yeah.
On the topic of
Glorious
FOTR, we do have some content also done for Revenge of the Sith. Like the last GC Outer Rim Sieges will get a Kashyyyk,
Yes.
Utapau, Mustafa, and Coruscant mission, and Harua, but from the comic. So all these things will also come.
I'm going
next
to
update.
play the Utapau thing now, but
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to switch the scene so you won't see us, but I'll still leave our audio on.
Yeah, we can talk over it. Maybe NMS will feel fancy and dig up gameplay here. Prosperity.
No, because then I'll want to sing "I Miss You" by Blink-182.
It's posterity, not prosperity.
Hello there.
Bless you.
I'm hoping that we get different hollows every time we come back.
I'm not the only one to point out prosperity in the chat.
Why are we
Wow,
being mean to the
bullying
Germans?
German. I mean, that seems to be this team's MO on the whole.
No, actually, bullying Canadians.
Yeah.
They know what they did.
The Canadians, indeed. But bagged milk is a crime.
We're not doing this right now.
That's not even a Canadian thing. It's a Eastern province.
Yeah, it's far more recent crimes
Yeah,
they can
it's
let
good.
point out.
Anyway.
Like the new Animal Farm.
I'm not sure why the hollow flow through is only picking 12 of them. But anyways, I have, hopefully this will work. I have gone back and deleted the 40 pictures we've seen, and that doesn't work. Okay, so it's got to be a whole new source.
You hear that?
That's annoying.
It's gone.
All right, well, here are some props.
Not going to the mod.
Oh yeah, these are amazing.
Be distracted by the props, people.
Did you miss out on
hey,
some of
hey,
the other stuff?
What's that?
The Cybertruck.
I thought they're garbage.
I thought there was a few more FATR models.
I assume they're just later.
Oh, if they're later, that's fine.
There were the 6 minutes on the prior thing, but go through the props and then we will.
Props aren't exciting, but they're how we get good-looking maps. So
Props are very
it's not
exciting.
flashy, but they're very important. Yeah. Well,
It
I'm
also
trying to
does
appeal
kind
to
of.
audience.
It does kind of tell what kind of game I'm playing. This one's obviously Outlaws.
I mean, it's actually, I think that a lot of the new games are pretty good sources for like generic.
Yeah,
honestly, yeah.
Props, because like the older games, you know, Nice Old Republic and Jedi Knight series are great, but they're and Galaxies, yeah, but their props is like so. It's also old. It's hard to tell what they're supposed to be sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like Galaxies, because it's at least meant for player habitation for a lot of them. So, yeah.
Honestly,
But, like,
this
really-
complaint also applies to the units and infantry. I was so shocked to learn that this one unit is meant to be a weak way from base game. I just thought it was anything else.
They're so cool.
Okay, well, I need to go pick up furniture from IKEA. So you guys all have fun and
Have fun building.
But yeah, no, things like this are just so useful to have as a mapper.
Oh yes, the tentacles.
Rhino,
Yeah.
I want everyone to know Rhino sent me like 4 minutes of just tentacle moving videos for this. I cut it down to about
Side-eye.
30 seconds, 40 seconds.
Rhino,
So
hello?
just-
Rhino
the anime
response?
fan.
Rhino response? Rhino response?
Porto, you're also an anime fan, so
No. Let's just focus on Rhino.
I don't know. I see this
Those-
as like one ship you're on together.
I'm not the one making tentacles. I'll say
Throw
that.
stones in the glass house, even when it's made of mirrors.
No, I will throw stones in a glass house. Thank you very much. I'm not the one making tentacles again.
But you're still watching anime.
You know what? I
No.
can. I can initially blame Keelhole because he upsized the
Yeah, that's not shocking.
And that didn't look good.
Okay, no one is surprised by this fact, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But it's still your fault.
Keelhaul gives tentacle energy.
I miss Bob.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Okay. Weather towers. Weather towers are really cool. Weather towers are amazing.
I was definitely
my new favorite prop.
Yes,
the hay bales are also.
It's
I
the
kinda
block
got
of
farm
insect food from that one train movie.
Snowpiercer?
Snowpiercer.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Wait, were there
And,
bricks?
like, the
Fuck,
nice
no,
plastic
guys.
wrapped.
We need to get rid of the bricks. Not in Star Wars.
No, they were hay bales, Corey.
Bricks
Hay
and
bales are fine.
screws?
Okay,
In
thank God.
my
Okay.
Star
I
Wars?
didn't see what was being talked about. I thought there was like bricks on something that I had. Okay.
Yes, okay, so someone pointed out in the Discord that the YT1300 was an old model. So I thought, okay, I'll redo it. Then I went down the rabbit hole of every YT
I'm
that
sorry
got a
for throwing
depiction.
the design documents at you. Probably not
It's,
the best
it's
idea.
fine. It's fine.
That was
Like,
the most
lightning
British.
in.
It's the most British. It's fine, not fine ever.
It's self-inflicted. I just give the artist's references and then this happens.
Yeah. Like, I didn't have to
They're
take
cool. We're all gonna
Nolan's.
appreciate it.
I'm sure
That's
every
why-
mapper will love the variety.
Yeah, exactly.
Rhino, that's why you have to do the most obscure thing possible, so there can't possibly be variants.
That's
Oh,
where
but I have.
the obscure stuff is where you get all the variants.
No, it has to
I
be
was gonna
super
say.
obscure. It has to be super obscure.
I remain sad that you didn't do the one that was just a circle, just the saucer part.
Oh.
Which one was that?
The one, if you mess around with the YT Builder website, you can get one that's literally just the center saucer.
Yeah,
There is a
the
YT
YT
builder
builder was
website.
fine for like references, but I'm not really taking that as actual stuff.
Is the stream buffering for
I was
anyone
trying
else?
to export all
Yeah.
the hollows as a video, but it just ate all of my fucking system resources. So
It's a disaster.
And these are just a different cylindrical hay bales.
Yeah, they're great. I love hay bales. This is like childhood nostalgia.
We know people
This
are here for this.
Random
Explain.
block.
For Vic,
You are
this
here
counts
for the
as
hail
urban
bales.
prop.
Oh yes, and then bridge.
You could say we really bridge content together.
Vic just likes playing bridge.
These are T78's
Yeah, new monk.
Moncar props, I think.
Yeah. I knew a Mon Calamari building set.
I just
I
want to
like
say
the
you are a bit ahead, so they are still at the bridges now.
Oh.
Oh, are they?
I'm streaming the.
We are.
You guys need to watch in Discord from my OBS
Yeah.
stuff. If you're
Yeah,
looking
okay,
at
so
describing
we are-
stuff
There's a
off the
delay
YouTube
before it
stream, you're
gets
going
to
to be
YouTube stuff. Yeah.
way behind.
Yeah. That's why I said Moncar stuff.
So these
I
are-
learned that the hard way.
These are really lovely.
Yes.
These are going to be fantastic.
Yeah, T's been doing a lot of prop models, including some redos of base game stuff.
Which has been nice to see.
Oh yeah, I've been making a big shipyard and I broke it up into several pieces so mappers can use that as props. So there's 2 shipyard prongs and a landing pad. Yeah.
Oh yes, the
And here it is.
The harvester that's 6 million
I think
polygons.
it's no, it's 68,000.
Hey,
It'll
the
get
Cybertruck
done
back.
anyways.
Yeah, the Orgy stuff.
The dumpsters.
Yes. See, this is where we all work out of.
Bulldozer. Oh.
The mappers
Yeah,
finally
well,
get
then-
prop slop.
Yeah.
Slop is great. No mapper is going to complain about prop slop.
The mappers come to the trough for prop slop.
Modelers,
Yes.
Complain about your
modelers
use
are
of the
always
slop.
hired to do
Props and never do them.
Yeah.
That's
And
life.
then I join as a mapper, go do death clones, and then start doing props.
I'm gonna get us back to where we were in the.
All right.
Yes.
Whoa, those little guys are going fast.
I don't know if we'd shown
Yeah, I think
the
we saw
Scorpion
it.
X, but I'll let it just go
Yes.
from here.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
We had.
Although, I'll be clear, it has the tan texture in FOTR, and I think our version is the gray texture, so a bit different there, which isn't uncommon, just pointing it out if people get confused.
We got colors for days.
We have lots of mod-specific skins for stuff.
Yeah, the annoying part with different colored textures for stuff is you need to have different models for it, which is why we can't do things like have the Venator become gray when you do Order 66. There's sub mods that you can install for that, where you just kind of have to run the sub mod when you want that to take effect. But it's not something we can dynamically do in game.
It's one line of code and game constants for the factional team color, which is why I just suggest people change that. It's just not something we really have the lever for to change in the game, but it's really easy file change. There we go.
But you can change colors between mods really easy, so sometimes
well, there's a difference between changing the team color and then changing the texture file for something too, is how that went. Because the FOTR stuff, we just stick a different texture file in each mod. That's why the units have different team color patterns, is because it's the same base texture and we put a different alpha layer over for the team color and put a copy in each.
What's this turret droid?
I mean, the name kind of tells you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it's from.
It's from the
it's from
Trade Federation, duh.
Oh no,
I was talking about the
from
T4.
Power Battles, and then this one's from Starfighter.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is more like a direct fire AV7 kind of, where it's a floaty repulsor lift leg artillery platform that unpacks and floats around. Just, probably more direct fire stuff than
OTR Era 1 fun.
The animation is really slick, I'm not gonna lie.
Right. Yeah. And so we do have 2 Umbaran assets. We don't have the funny leggy tanks. Those are going to be difficult. We'd like to have more Umbaran stuff and other militia stuff in the future. But
the leg tanks, the large walkers aren't too hard, but the worm ones would be.
Yeah, they're still harder than a tank. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other walkers still 6 legs.
And the fighter also appears in Tor, so we've said, it might as well say it's 300 years earlier in Revan's Revenge too.
A version.
Why not?
So, Heel Hall, I have, I think, the rest of your map images, which will hopefully show.
It will start with Agamar.
If it ever decides to actually pull up the directory. I don't know if it's the image format for some of there. Okay, let's see if this works. So Zafel, we talked about the first images.
There's a video on it if you want to learn about it.
We'll just go through the rest of the Zafel images, and then there's Agamar.
All right, Agamar is I had this idea of what if it was an island, but in the background, giant threatening tentacles reached up into the sky, and you'd just be doing your own thing, and then suddenly, whoa, what the hell's that?
Again, with
and then it would go back down. I was inspired by Porto's talks about anime. So, I did 2 videos on this. One is just kind of a cinematic show off of how they move and stuff. And the other is more in depth and about how this might actually get relevant to Rev eventually, and that'll be fun because it can be part of the Mon Calamari Kingdom in the deep south of the galaxy, which is weird but kind of fun. Because basically the planet offhandedly gets mentioned as having whalodons, which are from Mon Calamari. So it's it's a Mon Calamari planet in the south of the galaxy for some reason.
Yeah, Agomar and Agamar, 2 different planets. Just like Mrist, Merlst, and Mist, all different. You need to be clear on these things.
Damn it.
Forget the guy named Agamar.
Ost is a planet with a sort of weird history, but basically it just appears unnamed in a bunch of Darth Maul's backstories, and then it eventually got named and described in The Wrath of Darth Maul, which is a 2012 book that is actually not bad, but almost nobody has heard of because nobody read anything between 2010 and 2012, I found. except for Darth Plagueis.
The world faced a literacy
everything else was
crisis,
forgotten.
Famously known.
You joke, but even Jorrit hadn't heard of this book and some of the others. So, like, I don't know. I feel like there's a problem if nobody's heard of these books, even though some of them are actually not bad at all. But yeah.
To be fair, in that time, Lucasfilm tried to soft reboot a lot of books and comics, so it was kind of awkward when they rebooted again 2 years later.
I did talk to some of the writers at Legacy Expo this year, and they did kind of mention things were hell during that period, and a lot of them were like, when the reboot happened with Disney, they're like, do I want to continue working in this environment? No, I do not. And they left. This is Nocto. It's just a blank slate, but for some reason we had it as like an orange planet. And so I was like, okay, but what if but marked as an ocean and an orange, but it's completely blank slate. I was like, what if it's an orange ocean? And I thought that was fun. And then I decided to give it Duros Partisans, because I thought that was cute. Because, like, why can't it be a Duros colony? Birchest is just a planet offhandedly mentioned somewhere in the Thrawn trilogy, I think. And it's only shown in, like, one comic panel where it's, like, this...
offhand. That's where Luke is going for. He's searching for the guys, and he does this whole skate off the side of the city and whatnot.
I guess Jordan is the archives.
Like, there's a whole scene there.
Okay. Well, it only appears in like one comic panel where it shows like crystalline cliffs and stuff, and I thought, okay, I can do that. And this is kind of a quick convert. It actually took a bit to get the colors right, but it's nothing special. I like the colors though. It was actually really hard to get a crystal look. Slumpix 5 is offhandedly mentioned in the Han Solo Adventures, and it's just kind of implied to be like this really, really big deal world, even though it's never actually shown or anything. So I had a couple different visions for it, but I eventually settled on just being a normal planet with big open skies, because it's supposed to be like the center of all kinds of space guilds, shipping lanes, and freighters and everything. So I was like, well, if it's going to be this big a deal, it would have clear skies. So I didn't do anything special except make it kind of look like Seattle mountains, with a giant urban scape in the middle. And that is a correctly sized dreadnought, which should give you an idea how far away it is. Gestrun is the last one I made, or Gestron, and it's offhandedly just a place that Garmbel Iblis was raiding Thrawn's forces or whatever. And because it was blank slate, I decided to just give it like this sort of petroleum jelly, oil, methane looking water texture, because I always thought that would be kind of cool to mess with. And I like what I came up with, and then I just kind of turned it into an art project. Gameplay wise, it really favors commandos and hover units, which both feel very much like Garmbel Iblis things because he has free runners and commandos. So, yeah, it's basically, it doesn't appear very often, but I think it's very pretty, especially with the lighting and how it came out.
It's nice we have all the other planet colors set up too, as well. Definitely helps the map background and terrain diversity.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll bring us to, I mean, technically the maps are for everything, but this is the quote-unquote end of the FOTR section. So we got a quick little TR teaser, and then we'll get into talking about some of the stuff that remains for 3.5, and that'll also kind of segue into some of the overall projects for 0.0. So we'll be right back.
To defeat an enemy, you must know them. Not simply their battle tactics, but their history, philosophy, art.
Once more, the Sith will rule the galaxy. We shall
was doing a teaser for a teaser.
All right.
Another mapper joins the Blunder ranks.
So just to clarify, we will not have that stuff in 3.5 when it comes out, which will be January 13th. So release date announcement. Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, so a lot of
Huzzah!
Yeah. Mhm.
So yeah, the beta's been going well. It's been going for a while, and we think we'll be ready on the 13th. And so we'll talk a little bit about what's coming in 0.5, and also a little bit of what's going to be coming afterwards. So that, I guess, brings us to some of the more TR-centric models. Some of these are also things that might show up in the other mods, but they're like primarily TR. So the way I organized this, I had to do a whole section just for the tie models that Victoria did.
Oops.
All the ties are redone.
All the ties.
I don't think I'm sad to see a lot of my old ones getting replaced here, so yeah.
I am happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy my
expect-
models are also obliterated.
The four of us who worked on all the old ties are. The new ones are.
It was great
We're happy
rejoicing.
they're gone.
Now
Yeah.
I just have.
Well, I mean, I think I did the first chunk of the last tie set when we needed them for Ascendancy in 2012, and that's kind of what's followed through here.
Yep. That's what
Are you
Berto
gonna
built
give
on,
him
That's what
a-
I built on. So.
Are you going to give him a bronze specular to match cannon for Imperial Reign, Victoria?
No, because we don't do color speculars.
Oh, you're right. You got me that time.
The actual
You
tie
got-
argument is what color do we make the hull?
I've
Yeah,
always been a
do we do white,
blue
blue, or-
tie truther. I don't know, like.
Yeah, blue ties is the
I'm
superior
with
one.
Corey.
I've always had the thought we should do like one in TR and one in FO, one in IR, but yeah.
Well, you see, Imperial ones are gray, and then the tie 1 is gray, and then the tie 2 is blue. That's the way. That's the way we write it off.
No.
Oh, Porto.
Ultimate variant.
We are pretty blue pilled.
Oh.
The Executor blue.
The stupidest thing we could do is have it be like a Legionnaire skin thing, but I don't think
No,
worth
that's
No.
so many
Yeah.
models.
Yeah.
So many
Yeah.
models.
Exactly.
So many tiny models that people aren't even looking at. Most
And then there's
of the time.
fucking Zinja's ass. No, that's
Yeah. Zinj just has to be extra.
It's not even the normal Raptors, it's the elite ones for his. Yeah.
He's just
Just call it
yeah,
Dazzle
it's funny.
Camo.
Anyone else notice that chromatic is just basically being Ray on this chat?
Yeah.
Ryan's
Watch
outsourced
this.
himself even other people.
This does sound like Ryan.
Yeah.
The Avenger is not from Andor to clear. It's a long running Star Wars design. Before Andor picked it up.
There's a lot of stuff that just kind of uses the same concept art for stuff. So like the Cantwell has been used a couple times, that kind of thing.
Yep.
The Defender.
I wouldn't even say the Avenger is based on any concept ties. It's just an Interceptor and X1 mashup, kind of.
But what about the Defender being introduced by Star Wars Rebels and nothing prior? How do you feel
True,
about
and
this?
Thrawn made it too.
Yeah.
Totally.
I'm really
Thrawn
glad
and the
that
Defender are intertwined. They belong together.
Missile Boat, never heard of her. Thrawn and TIE
tell-
Defender, my true love.
Well, the Thrawn and TIE Defender thing is pretty much the best proof you have where lots of the people who are fans of Star Wars stuff did not actually read or remember most of the things they talked about, and that formed the internet zeitgeist in the early 2010s.
Yep.
And then a lot of new canon stuff was literally
Nolan,
just
please
based
wrap
on
it up.
whatever the random internet bullshit was.
Okay. We get it. We get it. You don't gotta crash it out every time.
Okay, Mort, your turn.
Okay, so TIE Defenders are really cool, right? So we should talk more. No. This screenshot is not much to look at. This is actually going to be in 3.5. This is the Dark Empire choice. And if you do the stuff that is required these days in 3.4 to unlock the Dark Empire, Palpatine just kind of shows up and moves into your house, and you don't get a say in it. But now, starting in 3.5, coming January 13th,
I hate when people do that.
you actually get the option to tell Palpatine to just piss off. And if you do, he joins he takes over the next most legitimate Imperial faction and spawns a big enough fleet at Biss to make whatever faction he joins equal to the strongest power in the galaxy. And then you have a big fight on your hands. And it's great. After that, you still get to have the Jax regime and Dala and Pelion later, so you don't lose out on anything except for Dark Empire itself, and you gain the opportunity to have a fight with the World Devastators and the Eclipse and Palpatine and all that good stuff. And this comes with changing the name in-game of your faction to Dark Empire, or whoever becomes Dark Empire. And you've already seen this in Fall of the Republic with the Order 66 choice, turning the Republic into the Empire, or the Hutts into the Shadow Collective. But we've massively expanded on this dynamic tag switching kind of system. It doesn't give us infinite power, but we've made the best of it, especially
Is this
with
already in FOTR?
Is it in FOTR? I actually forget.
I don't think
it was in the release.
Oh,
I think it was after the release.
Yeah, I think it was in the release.
I was talking about something
or
else,
was it
actually.
after?
I'm an idiot.
First leak.
Okay.
Well, whatever.
But Mord, what
It's
happens
impossible
if there
to predict
is
it.
no second most legitimate empire? You're the
Palpatine
only
can't
one left.
annex you legally without your consent, by the way.
That's a great question. If there is no second empire, Palpatine just shows up as a mysterious new faction on Biss by himself, and he still gets that giant fleet. And that uses the mechanic that Jorrit worked on and created that I don't feel like I should spoil because it's not my work. But I don't know where we want to talk about that.
We've been talking about that since April. What's
talking about what?
What's this hell?
We should actually talk less about it.
Yeah,
I have no idea what's being talked about.
All right.
What do you mean? We're leaking?
So
Just say it.
So devs and people in our open testing team know all about this, and as well as people watching the Admiral's previews. But Jorrit came up with an insane idea to let you play as literally any random Imperial group that we could think of.
We announced this on
shove
April
it in.
1st, and no one believed it. So remember,
Yeah, I don't know.
I did a whole preview
totally
video about it.
Surprisingly.
Oh, true. It was an April video already.
Yeah, we've shown it.
A fair amount of people all think it's actually still a joke and may not have noticed.
This is the 0.5 mindset right here. Did we do it this version or last version?
Oh yeah.
Well, what people need to
Activist
understand
cycle
is
is
for
long.
them, there's this release date thing that acts as a hard divide between what you're playing. We're almost never on an actual release. We're always in flux. And like there's stuff that we do before release that doesn't make it in for release that ends up in the next release. And like it version numbers are almost meaningless to us because like we don't know, that's not how we experience this.
We only know that you guys live in poverty on 3.4.
Until
transports for
until
EA
3.4
since
releases.
like shortly after 3.4 dropped, so it's hard to remember that no one else does.
Time is a meaningless construct.
But that gets us to
But
the
yeah,
other
so
one. Oh, you want this one still?
Oh yeah, and so no, I think that's all I got.
I don't think
This
we had
is
any
the
videos
other
for
thing.
Proteus there. Oh, sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
I have no idea if this was in Fall of the Republic or not because I am very old and senile. But it's in TR 3.5. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
And what this is customized ending messages based on an offhand comment by NMS and which I took and ran with. And this gives you a huge amount of flexibility to have the things you did and the state of the game at the time you ended it be reflected in your little end of game message. So as you can see here, you won. You were playing as Zinja's Empire. The last enemy faction you crushed is the Penastar alignment, and the highest ranking used loosely guy you had left living was Screed, so he gets to be the Emperor. And there's a huge number of fun little custom endings that we've put in there. A lot of them for defeats, which you sadly don't see all that often. But I tell you, there are some fun defeat screens in there now.
It's flavor for flavor's sake, which more.
Oh yeah.
What we're saying is you guys need to lose more and just fail at the mod more.
Yeah, which will be.
You need to play like Vic, then you will see those lost screens.
Oh my gosh!
Wouldn't the length of these causing save crashes for like a month too?
Oh yeah, they totally were, but we fixed those.
Yeah. Cope.
I'm knocking on wood right now.
No, this was a while back.
Yeah,
this is like 8 save crashes.
Please tell me we have. Please tell me we have
Okay.
the victory screen for Damon Thorn.
Well, you'll just have to find out yourself, won't you?
Oh, you like Star Wars? Name every Proteus end screen.
That would be pretty funny.
That is a hell that no Star Wars fan should be subjected to. And I'm saying that
we
as a Star
have
Wars fan.
42 Proteuses for this fucking release.
Where is my DeLorean end screen? Is it safe?
Oh, it's very safe.
All right, so this this next chunk, we have a lot of new infantry models. The 3.5 release also has all the fancy little partisans and stuff, which I think we've shown off in the prior one. Not all of them, because there have been some added since then. But I think they have been shown.
Those guys aren't in 0.5. They'll be next one. The army jump peeps, but yeah.
So some of this is for next version, but there's a lot of like all of this. So every release we go into and we say, I say, we're not focusing on the Imperials this release, and then
this joke's boring.
Doesn't happen. Okay, well this one's Porto.
Short cycle for real. Short cycle.
I'm glad that got snuck in.
This is an Imperial.
So like
mean,
when I
CSA.
other than
This
me
is
being
FOTR.
mean to Leo
This is FOTR.
and saying we were going to put off the KOTOR 2 stuff, I'm basically Ron Burgundy during these. I just put in the things you guys send me, technical issues aside. So when you said that, I had to put it in somewhere. It's on the teleprompter. I say it. Yeah. So we have.
I quote the line, but I know this is also a YouTube stream, so.
We
This
have
A posing looks like they are about to play keyboard.
one of the kind of long-term projects that's always been on the back burner that we're hopefully getting to in 0.0 has been different and better handling for militia stuff. So that kind of came up with the Umbaran units before. So there'll hopefully be more assets and more uses for them in the future when we decide exactly how that's going to work.
Sure, the army commando fat jokes will exist, but it's because their armor is under their jumpsuits. So just to clear that up for people.
The CSA
okay, I was wondering.
also looks quite fat.
Yeah, it's the armor is under the jumpsuit for them. So that's all.
So this is
I don't
just
know, he
there
kinda-
are
he
a few
kinda round cheeks.
other infantry that are in a different section. We'll be
Well-
looking at some Empire of the Hand and Chiss stuff in a minute, or a couple minutes, half an hour. More like
It's not like this has every Evo skin that ended up getting kit back between anyways, so
It depends how much we yap about it.
All right, so
you would have thought the CSA battle troops would have got something, but don't think people noticed.
we
They're
have
not that special.
this.
Okay,
The next little sections here are things that will be in 3.5. So we've got some changes to some of the galactic maps. The Stars Align got completely changed into a regional map, which NMS put together. So here's some previews of that if you want to.
This is the Era 1 Stars Align. This is the base version. It's mostly split between Pentastar and the Empire here. You can see the NR, the small exclave, and what's consistent of all these. The huts have a small 2-planet little, basically just a shithole in the middle of the galaxy here. It's a big challenge, and consistently the Empire of the Hand is here as well. This is Era 4 right now you're watching. And it's done here. We'll switch to Era 7. Starring our favorite Proteus, right there.
System control.
Oh, that's what I chose for
Debian.
something else as well. So that's
It's Supreme Commander Deviants, some Augustine Gayer art, and with a unique model actually for Deviant now. It's not in the stream, but our Unload Dev Phil made a model for Deviant that will be playable with that this start, so it'll be really fun.
LMS, the chat is asking, isn't this the normal Stars line that's already in? What do you say to this?
I'm not sure if you've seen the old Stars line in this. I don't think the old one had Empire of the Hand or Huts for one, but if it's not that different and you still like the old one, that's good then, because that means you like this one too.
Yeah.
So true.
All right, and Jorrit, we got something that you've submitted for the class.
Yes, I did. So this is not the most exciting video, but you can see that eventually some speeches are going to play, and this is from the ground up with error progression. So people have been asking about this for a very long time, and I finally found a decent way to get that in that shouldn't cause too many headaches maintaining it in the future. So now I just kind of awkwardly sit here waiting for the next scripted thing to happen. This also means that, like, when you conquer Mandalore, you can get heroes, which people thought used to exist in From the Ground Up and Custom, but it never was a thing. That was only in Progressives, but that's in now. So here's your intro for the next regime, which you can buy, and it's slightly OP and From the Ground Up, but don't worry about it. It's fine. Great. Yeah, so lots of cool stuff there. You also can do it in custom, which, when paired with the fact that some maps now start with all the alignments pre-placed, means that you can basically just do a progressive map in custom with any of the changes you like on there. So in a second here, after we finish seeing Hiss's beautiful face and his wonderful holo, we'll cut over to eventually. There we go. You can advance regimes and round it up. It's great. And here we go. Now all the alignments are pre-placed. Once again, this is progressive in custom GC, but I'm going to do some nonsense and switch out a couple things with the features, but then it's otherwise going to play more or less like a normal progressive map. So do some things, make some choices, switch up some tech, do a full start for the hero spawns. You can go around, see where everyone has his things. And yeah, I can go grab some NR tech. If I want to pull back some nostalgic tech that gets locked in later eras, I can just say, I want that in this era now. I can go over to there. I will pick up the Proteus group I want, which will be Zero Command. Zoom in here. Do a couple things. And we'll put Zero Command on K-List, because that's where they were. And pick Zero Command, like I was saying, after I fumbled too long trying to find it. Put that over there. Now we've selected Zero Command and a couple units that were locked. And Zero Command also has a planet down here for reasons that I blame someone for. It's more accurate.
Wallace.
Probably.
Yeah.
Then you start the GC, and it's basically normal progressive, except now Zero Command is on the map, and you have some extra tech. So, yeah. Doesn't really make for the most engaging television, but
Zero Command Shell's gonna be so happy this version.
Yep. A lot of possibilities for you to do crazy stuff in custom and From the Ground Up with this unlocks. So I'm pretty excited about it.
So the progressive From the Ground Up is what I was testing out a few days ago when I got these 7 SSD spawns in my run.
Yeah, that still happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Zero Command right there.
Yeah, so
luck joke is not that they were on the map; it's that they were the planets surrounding his starting one only.
Yeah.
I do also want to say that From the Ground Up, we have kind of had some ideas for ways to expand it over the last few years, including both smaller and bigger maps. The reason the maps are the size they are is because it originated back in the day when the unit selection freeze existed, which was a bug where after a certain amount had happened in the game, everything would just stop responding to commands. Like you couldn't do anything. And the more planets there were, the faster you would hit that because there's more stuff happening. And then from the ground up, it was especially bad because every planet's getting taken multiple times. Like you start with so little and then you have to expand out to what you would consider regular territory. So by the time you get to what other maps would have as their starting point, from the ground up already had like half a game's worth of data to go off of. That was luckily fixed by a patch years ago. So the restrictions on from the ground up size and certain specific requirements no longer apply. So at some point we will hopefully have even more map sizes.
Oh, also from the ground up has you can choose the starting era now, and the way that you could, it's different than the way you could before, which means you can start as the Central Committee of Grand Moffs, which is the main takeaway there. So that's fun.
All right, so asset-wise, we got a few more. Again, these are primarily TR related. Some of them are also in some other places, but there's some more base game models that have been redone. Most of the stuff in this little turntable set is going to be in 3.5. Not everything, though. At least I think not everything. I'm trying to remember what's actually in this one. But generally, the stuff you see in this one should be in 3.5. Do I remember what's in this one? No.
Yeah, it was fun finding out that the ATA has different variants.
Well, you just have a pod on the back and you can make it shoot whatever.
What Ryan is trying to say is he loves doing units with a lot of variants and then doing every single variant. That's why soon you will get the ISD Simoon refit done by Rhino. I promise.
I feel like pointing out that that's kind of what got merged with Brashen's Command 1 anyways, like 5 years ago. So everyone getting mad about it. Well, I don't think everyone knows, and considering how much it comes up, but
fair.
Yeah, just dusting off some base game assets into the Ethereal Abyss.
Bricks.
I'm gonna once again try to see if I can get the hollows to play more things. I've this entire last hour I've been fucking around in this folder trying to make it work, and it's I'm actually gonna break something.
By the way, what's up with VIX maps? Do they also still come, or?
Yeah, VIX maps are still coming.
Oh,
okay.
Yours.
You can
there's
talk over that as well. I'm not gonna.
There's my Prey Bird I made. There's a battle cruiser I made based on the Yavin battle from I don't know, Dallas comic or something. I don't remember.
Shockwave, yeah.
So it's a ISD blorb. So I just made it into a battle cruiser for the meme.
Shockwave class.
The one
Probably
it looks like the Macquarie art for Star Destroyers.
Why is the Eradicator in TR?
Probably because I copied incorrectly.
Yeah, this is FOTR sneaking into TR.
Because Clone Wars content is just everywhere.
It could
Ron
pop up.
Burgundy read what was on the teleprompter. Not
this one's an asset update, so yeah.
Yeah.
It's in both mods.
It's such a pretty update.
Hopefully, it should get people to try the unit out when the 3 bugs have also been fixed, because that was kind of a historical complaint.
It's adorable.
The Gallifrey is quite nice, not gonna lie.
The Firehawks are really cool too. I really like the new Mauler too.
Oh, with the KDY demonstration dreadnought that nearly made it into FOTR.
Yeah, this is
one really more of an FOTR thing, but
yeah, this is more of a.
As we said, Ron Burgundy in the teleprompter.
In a sense, it's in TR now, though.
It's a lot of files to organize in a short.
Yeah.
Like, so here's what happens. 2 months ago, I tell everyone get your stuff submitted, and then some of the stuff was submitted. Like I said, I can get stuff in as late as Friday night, and then some people had all of their stuff submitted this morning. So it's a little bit.
Please wrap it up.
Indeed.
Okay, the Lancet always looks to me like this one pig from Star Wars Rebels. The face. Looks so.
It does look like the puffer pigs. Oh my god.
What is this, a Rorschach test?
Oh, you just ruined it, Leo.
I mean, I can't look at it and not see this puffer pig.
There's Legator-chan right there.
Yeah. For legal
That's
reasons,
for the
this is
fractal
not the
submod option,
KDY.
to be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the demonstration ship is the base comic design, which is from a 31 BBY comic, which is like Arrow and FOTR. Fractal did a ship based on it. His
Those are
Legator.
some bright
So
engines.
the Legator takes specifically in the Fractal Sponge option, not the.
Yeah, so eventually all the warlords are intended
It's
to
with
have
the
their own
impeller
thing
and
you
stuff.
turn on with
It's
that, but-
basically a sub mod. We're just nice to the artists and integrate it, so they don't have to update it as much.
And the most important part of every new update, new Mon Cal
mediator.
models.
Redone Mon Calamari models.
How many mediators is this now?
That's like
the fourth
or fifth.
Increase the
Yeah.
mediator count.
Don't worry, we'll get another mediator next update.
This is fucking sick
here
right
it
here.
is. This
This
is so
is so
great.
cool.
This is so
Amazing.
cute.
There we go.
I can't believe that
Spider.
they actually made this.
It can't
This
climb.
is
gonna happen.
It cannot climb mountains
clarification.
before anyone asks. Yeah.
Yeah, for clarification, this is not 3.5.
Yeah, this one will be 0.0.
It also can't climb mountains. That's unfortunately not a thing you can really do in Empire of War without basically redoing how the entire gameplay of ground works.
Yeah.
Not even gameplay. Organizational setup for everything, which means redoing the gameplay after. Yeah. And every single map. So.
The Anakin Solo baby snatcher.
No, it was not a badly drawn executor. It was.
It's not a badly drawn executor. It's
It is meant to be its own thing as like one of those demonstration ships in the comic, but it's Tails. It's one of the non-weird Tails issues. So.
Here you can see the
it
new
is still pretty weird.
Axis map. It's based on TCW and some comments from the which source book was it again, NMS?
Coruscant and the Core Worlds.
Coruscant and the Core Worlds.
Yeah.
With the purple hills.
And yeah, it's mostly based on the red, on the color red, and the areas in the TCW episodes. Nothing much to say, but I'm glad that I finally made that map.
It's been a big cycle for red maps. Like,
yes,
As we said, getting
you could
the
say it's
other
a red
colors
wavy
in
then.
was definitely nice.
It's red 40.
Let's be fair.
Just wait.
The
We can
color's
make even
nice.
more red
Usually
maps.
everything's brown or green.
Yeah.
Actually, the last red map I made is now coming into this update because we took so long to make one, and now
You
I'm
guys
gonna
can keep
give over.
talking, but
Oh my word, that cycle.
Hey, talk about your Coruscant map.
this stuff will just go through.
This is the map of the cycle, right?
Yeah, so this is a map I made for Scylla. I thought I should at
Scylla.
least give the Chiss fans something. Whatever. I don't speak Chiss.
Hungarian. It's a Hungarian word.
Or Hungarian.
Say.
I went with the idea that we're seeing kind of like the upper bubbles. This is a map for Forost, which is based off of Cassus Belli. And yeah, it's fun. It's a bubble in space.
Hey, chowda.
It's not particularly different from the Kuat map in that sense.
No, just better and actually worth keeping. And I did one for Korriban based off a couple of sources that I think turned out okay.
I like the Valley of the Sith in the background.
Yeah, I was very happy with how that kind of turned out, with it kind of extending back. And you can see in a couple of these maps in Fall of the Republic already. These are all the ones kind of made since last.
Yeah, Korriban is in, I know. Coruscant is completely new to
Trion
TR.
is
You wanna
also
talk
in.
about-
And
you wanna talk about
Trion, I'm
Coruscant
quite.
specifically?
Is it offensive if I
think
say
we
I
kinda
was surprised
passed.
that there weren't Trion in the pile of like heads made for other militia?
How did Trion look?
More that we didn't really make the heads and just grabbed them from everything we had.
It is a bit of a shame because I really want to go back and redo all my nature settings on maps, but I thought that was something to save in a branch for 0.6, and I didn't get it to a point where I wanted to show it off.
I feel this ties into something.
So that's something to look
we'll
forward
later
to
talk.
in the summer. Yeah.
You mean 0.0?
But 0.0, yes. And so this is actually one of the maps that I just finished. This is like the last thing I turned in, and this is a redone map for Adamar, which I think turned out quite nicely.
What do you mean? Isn't it Abian?
Abian, it's Adamar as well. It's
before release.
True. I could get a couple more done. Mon Calamari will be here soon, guys.
Trust the
Mon
plan.
Calamari underwater.
Trust the plan.
Vic would never lie about the map.
And then, okay, so this one is cool. This is one that I was talking with Porto and Rhino about Mobile Suit Gundam, and we were discussing ring habitats and like O'Neill cylinders. And I'm kind of a science fiction buff, so I love that kind of stuff. And I went, you know what? We have these terrain props, so if we like arrange them in a circle, we can make one. And I think it turned out really cool. There's also, I didn't get a picture of it, but there's a ground skirmish map very directly based on Mobile Suit Gundam. That's also making it in this cycle. And for this one. And yeah, the other big map that I did this cycle was Coruscant, which has been kind of like an edited base game map, I think, since base game. And I just kind of thought I'd give it a shot. Porto kind of made a bit of a wager with me over it. But and the result was not terrible. So
it's Coruscant.
People just bully Vic. That's
Coruscant.
all it is.
Any take on Coruscant is going to piss people off because that's not going
to
have
I
the
just
specific thing they wanted.
At the end of the day, the biggest
it,
thing for this was just making something. Yeah.
It's honestly one of my favorite maps this cycle, and Vic did a great job for what's like honestly one of the most popular common plants. It's a great thing that like a fresh new map that's like just fun to play on. So props to you, Vic. Good job, man.
And I have to give all the props to NMS for actually doing the testing, and for the people who
we have that on recording now.
Appreciate that.
There's no bet on Coruscant. We're writing that history over.
It's here in video now, Porto.
All right.
No.
But yeah.
So that gets us to the Empire. So there's some Empire of the Hand and Chiss assets in this this little roll through. So you'll see a lot of the Empire of the Hand content is all going to be in the 0.5 release when that comes out. So the new infantry types, their entire ground roster has been redone. And there's also going to be some Chiss stuff in here. We don't have the new Chiss infantry in the 3.5 release. We're saving that for
we
the
have
next
one
release.
of them. We have one of them in. Well,
we have all of them.
We don't have the CEDF troops, but we have the Phalanx ones.
Yeah, the Phalanx, like the 3 Phalanx types we have now.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, we don't have their lighter peeps. We have their
yeah. So there's
not all of them are done, but some of them are in.
There's also a couple Chiss ground units and Chiss space units in the 3.5 release. But the Chiss themselves, so the Empire of the Hand is fully rebuilt for 3.5. In 0.0, the Chiss Ascendancy will be another playable faction, so there will be some changes to the Empire of the Hand government mechanics to kind of accommodate the Chiss being playable as well. There will be some things that work differently for each of them depending on who you're playing, because they're essentially allied. But yeah, so we have pretty much all of the assets ready for the Chiss, which is why we're confident we're going to be able to have them playable in the next release. We might get multiple playable factions, but there's so much other shit we're going to be doing that we'll talk about in a couple minutes that it's not guaranteed that there'll be other playable factions. Corellia is kind of the next closest one.
We did say the same thing about the Warlord overhaul that one time.
Yeah, there's a surprising amount of canonical Chiss art from tabletop stuff. So there's like 8 trillion new Chiss models as well. But Philo, if you want to chime in on it.
Yeah, also mostly just textured OSIS models, to be fair. So in the process for this Chiss stuff, so the ground vehicles aren't done as much. It's only 2 it's 4, since we had 2 that are overlapping with the hand, and 2 that I finished just in time for 3.5. But I do hope to get the rest of OSIS models textured the next couple of months, so they should be ready for the next version.
Yeah, so I'm I'm trying to think of which Chiss ships made it in. The Auxibiles, Boreas, Aphivos, I think are the three, and the Syzygos.
Yes, those.
No, it was the Sminos.
Sminos
got in. Yeah, I don't think the first one.
Aphivos, and Boreas.
Not that these names don't mean anything to anyone yet, so it doesn't really matter. But I don't think any of them are actually in this in this turntable set. I think these are all just 0.0 assets.
This is Osritzal's texture, or the previous one, the transporter. And I think I did these last year. All the textures the same as to Puerto Rican. I don't remember. Yeah, so the Chiss space assets have been done, except for a couple, which Osritzal has been cleaning up, or has been doing, and now he's a texture artist too. So we're just going to see a flood of content.
We have like a 5-year model texture deficit. That's like there's such a backlog of models that need textures. So there's a lot of stuff that can start going in game now that we have a lot more texture artists as well. Because basically the way it was before, we've very rarely had someone who is just a texture artist. We have very prolific 3D modelers. So usually the people who are doing textures are also doing their own models. So we've fallen a bit behind on that. But now most of the modelers are also texture artists, and we have more of us that can do both. So it really helps getting that stuff moving. I feel bad about just how much of Oz's work in particular has been sitting there waiting, but we should be getting to a lot of it in 0.0.
Awkward silence.
Peak.
Yeah.
Speech.
Peak.
So the kind of the difference between the Empire of the Hand and the Chiss, they each have their own rosters. So the amount of overlap between them is more akin to like the Pentastar alignment versus Zinj, rather than being like two of the same faction. So they have their own entire rosters and their own playstyles that are built around those. So the Empire of the Hand is more mobile. You have long range things like the Peltist. They're kind of get in, get out. The Chiss are a bit more defensively oriented, less mobile, so on the ground, where the Empire of the Hand has a lot of repulsor tanks, for example. The Chiss is more focused on the treaded stuff, so they'll like get into a position, hold that position, then move on to the next thing. The Empire of the Hand does have some non-hover stuff from the ARAC here, which is a local force.
A canonical vehicle.
Yeah. Because they work with a wide variety of friends and allies.
Conquered subjects.
A lot of good friends.
Yes.
Friends.
No memes. And yeah, the Empire of the Hand does have one anti-infantry tank that is tracked, which they share a variant with the Chiss. So they each have their own texture for it. Same with the Air Strikers, which have some other visual differences, but they're kind of a linking point between the rosters. And yeah, so you'll see a lot more of the Chiss coming up once we get into 2.0, and you'll be playing with the Empire of the Hand very soon with all of their new toys. I'm really happy with how the government mechanics worked out for them as well. And I think that'll hopefully give with their menu, hopefully give an idea of some of the stuff that we can do with those menus going forward. There are some limitations to it, but Phil has set up a lot of cool ways to work with that, with the Galactic Conquest selection and then the Emperor of the Hand menu and all that. But for moving into purely 0.0 content, one of the things that we've been planning for a while now, I think I did the write-up for some of the core concepts for it almost a year ago, is some changes to Space Tactical. So we're really happy with how like unit balance and all that works. So like the way units are set up, the way they interact and all that. But what we want to have is more ways to play the map, more ways to kind of emphasize different unit strengths and show off what different units are capable of. So it feels less like it's just fleet versus fleet and then bigger fleet wins is what a lot of people interpret it as, even though there are a lot of outcomes that can happen from fleet composition, playing things out differently, but different things that can emphasize that. So there's going to be a lot more going on with space maps, different capturable areas, pulling some stuff from how ground works, And this will also come with some visual changes. So we want to do like new asteroid models we've had waiting for a while. All that kind of stuff. You'll see a bit more of that coming up soon. But the kind of mechanics that we'll be playing around that will deal with other capturable structures, the reintroduction of things like raid fleets and other ways to kind of tie in some of those tactical mechanics to the galactic level. That's kind of stuff that I've been prototyping towards with the huts with their Butana Hutta mechanic, where they can call in extra defensive units from the galactic level, or that you've kind of set up on the galactic level. And then with the Empire of the Hand now, we have the Phalanx defensibility where they can call in allied units from the Chiss Ascendancy to help them in offensive battles. So more things like that to help battles feel more dynamic, help them play out a bit differently, help them use more of the map, and help the battles feel like they are fitting into the galactic context more. That's a big part of what I'm trying to develop government mechanics around when setting those up, is trying to have things things where your decisions feel like they make more of an impact. But there's also some ground stuff in here. The Imperial Fortress will not be in space, sadly, if anyone was hoping for that.
Unless we turn it into a space prop.
It's already a ground prop, so it is in technically just on maps.
Maybe if we ever do a garrison structure, it will be used for that, but yeah.
Yeah.
We can turn it into a space prop, don't worry. Trust.
And I don't have like a specific Imperial Reign preview video, but a lot of these mechanics are kind of being set up with some of the things that I wanted to do with Imperial Reign earlier on in mind, which will be implemented in a slightly different way once we get to Imperial Reign. But a good set of the core concepts I had for that are also going to be applying for the other mods. But yeah. So as we roll through...
Imperial Reign is the Half-Life 3 of this team.
As long as it comes out before Elder Scrolls 6, I'm still in good shape.
We still need to do the new Space Nebula and Space Trash. Those are the things.
Well, the Nebula is not exactly a modeling thing. It's more of a playing with cheaters thing.
But yeah, so the second part of that, aside from the gameplay element, is that there's going to be a lot of overhauling of the visuals for it. So we're going to be redoing all of the space maps for gameplay reasons, but also for visual reasons. And so what you're about to see is stuff that is mostly done by Mr. Puerto Rican, who has been doing this originally for a sum mod, but a lot of that's also going to be in the upcoming versions of the mod. There's some things to be finalized with it. Some of the planet assets you're about to see are also from Shiny Man, I think is...
Yeah, so I can... the Shiny Man... That's a render.
There's two
for
renders
the
first. I think I put them both first.
Oh yeah, and that's the new Empire of the Hand one screen. Probably will get redone in the next update. So I've been going over lighting as well, testing it out, trying to see what we can do with the engine. And I also promise that you'll be able to see your units. I know originally when I posted about the submod onto Reddit, people were like, oh, I want to be able to see my units in battle. Don't worry, I like seeing my units too, so you'll be able to see them in battle. And I've also been playing with skyboxes, so what you can see in the background is a cloud or cloudy Bespin. Those planet assets are done by Shiny Man. Yeah.
Here, I'll just stay on this until you tell me to go.
Okay, so the Bespin background's done by me. Then you can go.
Unfortunately, still using the old Bespin that did get replaced.
Yeah, I've been doing this in public entirely, so the planet...
Yeah, no, it's okay.
The planet textures are done by Shiny Man, and the planet shaders are done by Samuel Krug. Both very talented artists. I recommend checking them out if you're an artist as well. Rachel over at Age of the Empire, I was talking about skyboxes with her, and I mentioned that I could probably use my animations HDRIs in Empire, or if we use if we change the skyboxes. So that's how this came about. And I also started playing around with the lighting, asking from help from different artists that I know. And that's led to this result. So, you know, it really helps the look of the mod, in my opinion. You'll probably see some videos where you could see it in action, but yeah.
Yeah, there's one thing with the planet backgrounds, there's some ways they're done that has implications for mechanics like planet destruction. So there's still some final implementation details we have to work out for some of it. But
I would say don't count on the planets themselves being added. Because, you know, like Corey said, we don't really know how that's going to look like. But this has all been exploration to see how the future of space battles look for the mod.
Yeah, and like you were saying earlier, our primary goal is always to make sure readability is a thing. That's been like the driving factor for our art style forever, and that's not going to change. It's just going for better visuals while also maintaining that. And I think next up we have some videos.
Good to have your ships actually visible too, instead of just using dark, high contrast lighting to hide your tiled textures. Our models look too good to use on that.
Anything we can say about the space reworks that we would do there? Anything to tease?
Well, I mean,
without getting into specifics, probably not.
It's a lot of it is going to be subject to change as we go, but
like
hinted
the
at
stuff that the cycle is the speed changes, and that's
all I can really say about that. Is I posted a giant multiple paragraph, multiple page write up of like what the goals are going to be, what the like general mechanics will look like, different things we want to emphasize. Like we want to. So, for example, Fog of War is something that we've not had in space for a long time. We want to reintroduce that, but one of the reasons that Fog of War was reduced is because, or was removed, because we don't want it to be a thing where like every battle you're just kind of like putting the unit in, Fog of War is there, and then you just want to run up to the base. So we want to make sure that these things can kind of like scale with the scale of the battle. If you're going to have a very repetitive, I get in and I go and kill a level 2 station battle, we want to make sure that doesn't get in the way of you having a good time. So like we want to take the wins where we've had them of reducing tedious elements of the game, while also helping achieve more depth in other areas.
I also want to say, completely off topic, kind of. You will hopefully not see a performance hit with these changes. They're all changing stuff that's already in the base game. If you do see a performance change, please let us know, because we obviously do not want your performance to be degraded. That's probably the most important thing, is making things look good and perform well on all types of PCs, no matter what you have. So please, if there are any performance changes, please let us know.
None of this should impact your CPU at all, which is usually the bottleneck. The only factor that might be slightly harder on GPUs is that asteroids will be slightly higher poly. Like everything else is just different applications of stuff that is already being calculated the same way. So it's not something that has any real performance implications.
Yep. All the footage you're seeing was recorded on my computers, and my computers tend to be pretty beefy since I'm rendering stuff. So some of the footage is on a 3080, some of it's on a 5070. So yeah, not really a good indicator of performance. Yeah. So again, we're not gonna destroy your FPS just to make things look 10% better.
Yeah, it's that's kind of the same reason we've always had, or one of the two major reasons that we don't do things like rotating turrets in space, because that has significant performance implications. But the biggest thing with turrets now is just
it sucks for gameplay.
It's really
they are objectively
really
bad for everything
gameplay
in the game.
There are so many workarounds
They
you
fuck
have to
up
do
unit
just to make it
paving, they
even
fuck up
slightly seem
unit
like it's not
stuff, they
fucking up.
fuck up hardpoint design. They're just a bad mechanic.
One at a time, please.
Turrets suck. There's a lot of reasons we don't use them.
They suck
in space, and it's also funny when new devs come in and it's like, why don't we use these more? And then they actually play around with it. It's like, oh.
Like with turrets, the game
makes your
thinks they're
units
all
turn
pointing.
worse, makes your units target stuff worse, and is just worse for performance, and affects how you have to do hardpoint design. Yeah, a lot of downsides for something that most people don't even notice.
Yeah, and
especially
most
too
people
when
won't
it's
notice
always
it
like
unless you zoom in or use a
they
cinematic
ask
camera.
for it on like 2 units and not the other 50 with visible turrets. So it's kind of
I feel this is a bit specific now.
It's
but yeah, we hope
it's
look forward
specific,
to it.
but it's specific because a significant amount of the questions related to it are specific.
Like even just from a balancing perspective, when you do it like that, you kind of the ISD, if you want to have each turret rotating, you need to have the turret or have the hard points done entirely differently. And people are like, oh, why does the ISD only have 4 of its weapons here? But that's not like it's all representative. Otherwise, we would have 100 plus hard points on every unit. We're not Phoenix Rising.
Oh,
we
and
can
then
only
they stop
hope
being
to be.
targetable.
Well, yeah, it's fine if you have nothing targetable like PRs, but yeah.
But yeah,
Hard
so
point count is
that
not gun
again,
count.
that's all 0.0 stuff that we'll be working on.
Yes.
So I'm struggling to get it to recognize the other leader art at all. I've been fucking with the hollow art to load other specific ones this entire time, and it's not doing it. But when you're playing 3.5, you'll be able to see a lot more of the hollows than just what's been going on. But yeah. So one other thing that people have been asking about for a while is this. So we have a pretty sizable chunk of Yuzon Vong space stuff. I don't know, Victoria, if you want to talk about any of this?
Yes, so this would be the Yorgakaga, specifically the frigate version, which is a larger variant. And then following that is the gunship variant, because in the novels they have very differing descriptions. One is a escort to the Matalok, the other is more of a fighter-esque ship. So yeah, they are very organic, very strange. And then here is the Ifril Manat, which is sort of a smaller Carrack-esque frigate. It has a big head and a strange body. You could generally describe every Vong ship like this. I played around with the colors a lot. This is we call it the Karatak. It is based on more of a traditional design for the Midroik. It is a shape. It has claws. And then this is the actual Madalok. This is actually based on a Monkal ship, but it is made fleshy. It is given tentacles. Behold.
Yeah, so
we're not beating allegations.
We've shown, I think, like at the first one of these cons that we did, we showed the Coral Skipper and the Midroik. Because Sleverd wrote up a whole style guide, and we're still following along with Sleverd's materials and general setup for that. And now Victoria has gone and done like 90% of the space faction.
We have more Vong units than Sith.
Go ahead.
That's true.
I was just joking. Continue.
Yeah, this is the Subban de Cred, which is basically a Victory-esque Star Destroyer, but Vong. And it looks like a wave. Like, come on. And then this is the Euroic Val, which the text describes as a big flat slab of black rock. I did not follow that description. It is a flatfish. It's got a little face. Look at that. Yeah. And this is the Umfula, which is a roughly 120-ish meter corvette. sort of think of it as an IPV. And of course, the world ship. It is genuinely too big and way too complicated to actually make any practical use of, but it's here. It is giant. It is coral.
Well, one of the nice things with all Yuzon Vong stuff is they start as babies and then they get older and bigger. So we have some ways to use.
There's lots of notes for that, yeah.
Don't worry,
Victoria whitewashing ships.
We could use the world ship as a skybox for a map.
True.
Yeah.
Replace
lots of
Mike
things
for
we
his
can do with them, and we
skybox.
probably do several things with them.
So the Yuzon Vong should kind of follow a similar path to playability as like the Yavithans and Hapens and stuff, and Siruvi, where you'll probably see them pop up as event stuff first, then turn into like a kind of crisis faction, and then become fully playable. They're like, while we have a lot of these space assets, there's still going to be a good chunk of work to kind of test ideas for gameplay for them, because they're very strange, and we want to represent that in a way that feels true to them, but also doesn't ruin the game. Like, we're still making an Empire at War mod here. But we do have a lot of work to do with ground assets as well. So
yeah,
before they can be playable. Yeah. So yeah, that's the that is that. And did I say January 13th?
One last thing.
Yeah, January 13th,
I think you did.
2026.
Oh shit. My bad. Star Wars Empire and Thrawn's Revenge version 3.5 is finally available. This update, over a year in the making, includes new UI changes, the long-awaited overhaul of the Empire of the Hand, even more playable Imperial warlords, and much, much more. We'll be going over some of the biggest changes in this video, but there are also more in-depth, albeit still not exhaustive, changelogs available in the mods files, on the Steam changelog page, linked in the description, and in the news section of our Discord server. First, note that saves and submods from 3.4 will not be compatible. If you have a save or a submod you would like to continue to use, a new workshop item is available with a backup of 3.4, also linked in the description, and that will work with your existing saves. For the new update, we'll start with the biggest changes you'll see as soon as you get in-game. We've built a brand new Galactic Conquest selection menu, which we hope will emphasize some of the different options available in the mod, which may not have been immediately obvious before. Things like era selection used to be a bit more hidden, which made it more difficult to know that in the progressive maps, you had multiple different starting points, each with their own unique maps. It was also a bit harder to know which factions were available in a given map, or which maps you could play as a given faction. This new setup should hopefully give you a lot more information in a more digestible way, including faction descriptions, map descriptions, and era descriptions in a more in-depth way than was possible before, helping you find which map, faction, and era you may want to try. Trying different galactic maps in different eras will also allow you to see a wider variety of planets, many of which have one of the over 70 new ground maps. You'll also see some changes to the galactic maps. The Stars Align map, formerly a historical map, has been reworked into a regional map, expanding the territory a bit and giving the Empire of the Hand, a major focus of this release, another smaller option to play on than the usual full galaxy progressives. The Thrawn campaign historical map has also had some planet changes in anticipation of a full rework in the nearest future, and a classic map has returned. Empires at War is back in the Infinity section, as an era configurable map, which is built around allowing all the Imperials to do what they do best, destroy themselves with pointless infighting. Along those lines, we have the introduction of a new playable faction which you may have noticed here. This bottom left faction icon is for the new Minor Warlords faction, which we refer to internally as Imperial Proteus. Once you get in-game as this faction, it allows you to choose from and play as one of over 40 minor Imperial Warlords, each with their own starting planets and hero sets. You don't select a specific group until you're actually on the map, but the GC selection screen shows you which groups are going to be available in a given map and era combination. This isn't a fully new faction per se, since the roster and mechanics are based upon the core Imperial roster, with each group having one additional unit swapped out. It's just a way to let some of the minor groups, many of whom get requested frequently as full playable factions, like Zero Command and the Corinth Dissension, be played without needing the same work done as a full individual faction would require. Again, all core Imperial mechanics like Legitimacy and Dark Empire remain available to them. Keep in mind though that these are smaller factions, and their starts can therefore be quite difficult. We make no guarantees of balance or even necessarily viabilities for each one, so it's up to you to decide how brave you are. But if you're looking for a new challenge, this means there are honestly hundreds of possible starts as these different warlords. Also added in this release are some of the new options for the custom GC game mode, a set of sandbox maps which give you a lot of control over starting positions and even unit and hero rosters. This includes the new custom influencers map, which is focused on planets which give unique influence units like Mandalore and Bakura. Included in that list are 2 new influence units this release, the Umbaran hover tank and the Scorponok Annihilator droid on Kola. On top of these new influence units, dozens of new partisan species types are now available, from Arcanians to Zeltron, for a total of 34 species, most of which are new to this version of the mod, though all have updated models. Certain game modes have been removed from the new Galactic Conquest menu, moving to their new home on the old Galactic Conquest menu. The instant action and survival game modes, which have received significant updates of their own, are now found in the game mode section, which also means you can now choose your faction in the drop-down list for the instant action game mode. One of the biggest focuses for this release was of course the Empire of the Hand. They'll be getting a standalone guide very soon which will go over their whole roster and all their government mechanics, but we'll give at least a brief overview here. The space roster has received several updates while the ground roster has been entirely redone. The Empire of the Hand is generally built out of 3 main groups: Imperial Fusion units, which mix Imperial designs with Chiss tech, so the Ascendancy Star Destroyer falls into that bucket, units pulled directly from the Chiss Ascendancy like the Syndic Destroyer, and units pulled from smaller local groups. The main Empire of the Hand government mechanic involves completing missions to improve your relationship with each of these groups, unlocking new heroes, units, and abilities. For the space roster, all units have been rebalanced to match some of our other systems in the mod, and to push ships into more dedicated roles. But there are also 9 new or completely redone units coming from the 3 smaller local groups, which serve a variety of specific roles, and the order in which you decide to unlock them can have big implications for how you're able to play. Each of these groups also has their own aesthetic. On the ground, the Empire of the Hand focuses primarily on mobile hover tanks. For those of you who are sad to see the treaded tanks go, don't worry, in the next release, the Chiss Ascendancy will be filling that role. For now, the Chiss act as an allied partner to the Empire of the Hand, even having the ability to send in allied fleets of their own unique roster to assist in the defense of Hand planets during tactical battles. One step in the direction of reintroducing broader applications of 3-way battles in the mod, which we used to have with raid fleets, for those of you who have played long enough to remember those. The Imperial Influence line gives the Hand another ability. Once they unlock cloning tanks, they're able to store and then clone DNA from their own heroes if they die. They're also able to clone other infantry heroes they kill from other factions, which rewards scouting and hunting enemy heroes. We had hoped to get a more significant expansion of the Hapens in this version, but while we didn't get there quite yet for them, that faction has had significant improvements to its existing roster, with some stat adjustments to remove some of the frustration from fighting them. For the Hapens and the Hand, as well as any other places where stats or rosters have changed, Skirmish has been adjusted to accommodate those changes. The Ground War Skirmish game mode has also been expanded to include the Hutts as a playable faction. Other tactical changes include faster unit speeds, as you may have seen in Fall of the Republic and Revan's Revenge, making it easier to change up tactics in the middle of battles and take advantage of map terrain more. This is again only the first step in some broader changes coming to the space tactical mode in the future. Gunships have received some quality of life updates coming in groups of 5 rather than individually, allowing you to use them in sufficient numbers without repetitive strain injuries from deploying them. Another mechanical overhaul, which has had significant implications on the tactical level both in ground and space, is the new way we handle command tiers. The 5-tier system is gone, replaced with 12. Characters were assigned a base tier from their rank, and then modifiers can bring them up 2 tiers or down 2 tiers, leading to the number you'll see in-game. You don't have to worry about how we got to that number, you'll just see the one number. The trade system has been significantly simplified, instead serving as one of a couple focuses for a character, and with bonuses that are less impactful than the main tiers. This should all make it far easier to tell which heroes are giving better bonuses compared to before, where traits could have a much bigger impact than the base tiers, making it hard to tell which characters were actually better at commanding. Higher numbers are now better as well, when before Tier 1 was the best. Similar changes have been made on the economic hero side, with two types of characters. There's agents who have more modest economic or political bonuses, but can be moved around at normal speeds. Then there's admin heroes who have much higher bonuses, but move much more slowly, so you can't just constantly move them around to get the discounts on multiple planets. They have to be more carefully planned around. All of the political and military bonuses can be explored in more depth in-game by checking out the guide accessed through the chevron icon on the left side of the screen. Aside from being used to determine tiers more directly, character ranks have implications for the New Republic command staff system. Before, space commanders were all in one general pool, but now there's multiple tiers based on their rank in the fleet, making it at least somewhat less of a min-maxing experience to pick which character you want, i.e. never wanting to give up Admiral Akbar, and more about which characters or ships you like the most, the list of which is somewhat broader. There's still a decent range of abilities within a given grouping, but you won't feel quite as bad if you have to give up Akbar. The Chief of State abilities for the New Republic have had some changes as well, hopefully making each one feel more useful. Imperial Legitimacy has had some upgrades too, introducing 13 new groups and splitting group availability by era. We've also eliminated the Warlord trait, which was way too common before and tended to just prevent integration far longer than we'd like, especially for the AI, making Dark Empire not occur for a long time and preventing the intended coalescing of enemy forces. Including the new and reworked Empire of the Hand and Chiss units, Partisans, Influence units, and other art updates, there are nearly 200 new or redone units across the mod. This expansion in content has been matched by a bunch of additional polish in other areas, adding a significant chunk of new unit and hero voiceover and sound effect work, and thanks to commissions by Lord Sizer of artist Augustine Gayer, fan art work which we have been allowed to incorporate for things like new holograms, of which there have been well over 50 added. On top of all this, there have been improvements to the AI, a lot of work on code optimization and fixing edge cases and old code issues, and even more. Again, this is far from an exhaustive list of all changes, but hopefully this has given you a good overview of what's changed in 3.5. Also note that if you have been playing the game with the optional 32-bit settings on Steam, 3.5 no longer supports this, it has to be 64-bit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, it probably doesn't apply to you. Either way, on behalf of the team, we hope you enjoy this update, and we'll have more news for you soon on what to expect next. Thanks for watching, remember to leave a like and subscribe for more if you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time.
OBS.
OBS didn't crash. I stopped streaming it to you guys because I didn't see it anymore. Alright,
okay.
So the mod is coming out. I am uploading it still. So don't just fucking relax. It'll be as soon as Steam accepts it.
When is the mod out?
It'll download. Calm down. Alright, but thank you for joining us for this stream. We'll be back with another EaWX con for the 20th anniversary. So that's depressing. We'll have more to show in June. Hope you enjoy 3.5. Thank you again to everyone for making the mod. And we're gonna go put out the fires that this causes.
Yeah.
Hot fix. Yeah.
Say goodbye, everyone.
Check out the Mr. Puerto Rican channel. There might be something uploaded soon, eventually.
Bye.
Give it 3 months. Bye.
It was self-promoting.
You guys are allowed to self-promote on this.
Yeah, we're allowed to self-promote. Q-Hall literally self-promo for like 6 minutes.
I didn't mention. I guess I did mention that I made videos. Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Go watch my
for like
videos.
every map.
It's pretty interesting.
It's fine.
Yeah, they're like, okay, so check out my channel. Okay, next map. Check out my channel.
I don't think it's that bad because it's like here
Check
is
out
more
this
explanation.
made a video
It's just
so that
here
I
is a
would
more
repeat myself.
detailed explanation of this thing. Go look at that rather than buying the stream. That's all
what this is for.
That's still self promo.
Yeah,
watch the
can't even make,
videos.
I can't even make fun of Porto.
I'd say check out our Discord and always watch when Vic streams because you can bully him as much as you want. We allow it.
No.
All right. Bye.